How you doing, everybody? Randy Richard in the shop. We're on the Clausing Lathe still project repairs and such, and I'm going to be doing the variable speed pulley. I'm not going to get it done in one video, so this is going to be 2 or 3 videos on the repair of it. It's a complicated piece. I hope you enjoy. Hopefully this is the final project for the clausing. This is the broken half. Well, it's broken because I broke it, but on purpose to remove this, to get it off the shaft. This was on here, right? The other half of the variable speed pulley. This part here goes in and out to vary the size of the pulley. It works many things. Mr. Pete's drill press, drives on snowmobiles. What I'm going to do is make this insert that will be pressed, and then I'm going to silicone bronze weld it into this. This is casting. This is cast iron. We're going to bore the center of this out. We're going to make this bushing that's going to go on here, which this will slide onto. It's a complicated piece. A couple keyways, special key design, and it has a bore for the rod that comes out with a hydraulic piston to mount onto. I hope this is going to work. If it doesn't, we'll have to come up with something. I got it in the jaw. Turn my jaws around, so I have, this is a machine back flat surface, so I could put it up against the jaw. And the only thing I could dial indicate that I know is somewhat concentric is the bore, and that's been rebored at some time to make it larger from the original shaft. I have it within 1,000. This outside, big cut in it, and I just couldn't get a good reading on the outside, so we're just going to go with the inside. Done boring this. I used a 5/8 solid carbide boring bar with a CCCT. Boy, I can't remember what the insert is, but it's a small one. It's a 21.15 or something like that. And I think we're there. Let me get my shooting for 1.8. And we're right at, oh yeah, we're right at 1.7990. So we're gonna call that good. A piece of 2 1/4, 4140 pre-hardened material. I've dialed it in here, and then I dialed it in here. This is hot rolled. You know, it's within about 5 roughly. So that we're pretty straight in the chuck, so I can face it, and I'm going to center drill. We'll turn it down for about 4.5 inches, and we're going to drill a 1-inch hole. The finished dimension out here will be so we can fit it in the disc, or the pulley disc. and then we'll be about 50 thousandths big, hopefully, and 1 inch will be 100 thousandths, a little more than 100 thousandths small, and we'll finish turn it once we have it mounted in the disc. I'm just taking light cuts here on the facing operations due to the stick out is so far. We'll finish this up and then mark it off for length for the outside turn in. Center drill it here so we can support it. I did a quick little wipe out of the center drill hole, making sure it was clean. That's always a good practice. And we'll get the rough oxide surface off from being hot rolled. I marked off about 20 thousandths shy of where I need to be as far as distance goes, 4 inches. 90 thousandths is where I need to be in length. I stopped like 20 thousandths short. I need to take off a little over 200 thousandths in here. We're only concerned about this part right here, this little short part here. As far as taper goes, I got about a thou taper in here. It's only this little part is what needs to be exact dimension. The rest we're going to turn down to final dimension afterwards. So we're going to turn it down till we get our final dimension in here. Then I'll take off a few thousandths so this part slips right in, and we're only going to press this part here. We're doing turn 355 RPM. I'll take off 50 thousandths here without a problem, I think. Yeah. It's a big diameter, so we have the surface feet we need. We should be able to make a good chip. It's barely making a good chip. Going about 10,000 speed rate. I should go a little faster, but I have to change my gearing to go faster. It's making a good chip though. So we're getting some heat in it now, and it'll be fine. Get the chip rubs on there, you get some marks. We'll take a 60 thousandths cut, maybe we'll get a little better chip. No, we're going to stringy chip. I don't want stringy chips. Like a 50 thousandths stringy chip. I don't like stringy chips. I'm only about 6,000 feet. I'm at 10,000, 10,500 now. 50,000 difference. Go back to the slower RPM, higher feed rate. Higher feed rate. Perfect finish. Perfect chip. A little warm. I lost some video footage and I forgot to turn the mic on. So this little segment here, I'm going to just do the voiceover. Here I'm making a calibration cut. Since we got it bored, we have the different live center in, and I'm using some coolant to keep the temperature down because we're shooting for some accurate measurements here. This will really help. We can measure right off and keep moving with the project. So we're going to cut all the way up here to the shoulder. Then what I did is I cut the final dimension for the whole length, and the critical part was from the shoulder out 1 inch to the final dimension to fit, so it was a slight shrink fit into the disc that we're gonna put it into the pulley disc, and that works out really well. Then I also make a cut to reduce most of the diameter down another extra 0.010 of an inch, just so that slips right on in, and we still end up with 30-40 thousandths extra for final machining after it's all put into the disc or mounted in the disc. And we have over 100 thousandths to take out of the bore. Plenty of roughing room on the bore. It's a little close on the outside, but this works out pretty well. It's plenty to get it. There I have another 51 thousandths to remove. And with magic there, it's all removed. And you can see where I removed that extra part, so it slips right into the bore. And then the little shoulder part is the finished dimension to be shrunk fit in the disc. And next I need to do is just clean up the shoulder square, and I also cut a small relief at the base of the shoulder with a small radius tool right in there, and that gives us clearance, so when we drop it into the bore of the disc, there's no interferences with that with the corner. Even though I did chamfer that bore. The material is the 4140 pre-hardened material. This is chrome moly steel. It's wonderful stuff to work with. They say it's pre-hardened. It's been pre-heat treated. That's why you have the hot finish on the outside. But you can get this product ground and buy it the ground finish. It's really not that hard. It usually right in there around 38 to 42, they say. I don't have a way to really test it that accurately, but it cuts really well, especially with carbide tooling. But you can use high-speed steel. Just use coolant, I would suggest. You have to be really careful with cutting it with high-speed steel, but it's great stuff to work with. All right, I'm gonna part this at least part way, then I'm gonna take the bandsaw and cut the rest. This way I get a nice good start on it. And what I've done is I've relief cut this, took about 5 thousandths off the height, so about 10 thousandths off the diameter. So this is where we'll press on at. We're half a thousandth big. It should be good. I'm gonna put this in the freezer, and I'm gonna I'll warm up the disc just to make sure we don't have any problems on the. It's making a funny noise. I'm just hand feeding. Well, I probably should use my coolant here. That'd be a little better. Won't be so smoky. Actually, I think I can part this. I shouldn't have a problem parting this off, I think. But as long as I have enough depth on this tool. This tool doesn't go real deep. Shouldn't fall out of there, but just in case, that's why I don't ding it up. Yeah, I should be able to part this all the way off. I wasn't sure if I could reach it all the way. Go. Oh, that came out pretty. I still had about 1/8 of an inch drill depth, so it came out just right. Nice looking part so far. We'll clean this up. Well, it's only going to be about 1/4 of an inch thick here. That's all I want, and then we'll be ready to put her in. I just cleaned up the face and measured. We need to take a couple cuts and get her down to 1/4 inch. Okay, we're gonna bore those out anyway, but that's just so I don't get cut. We are basically ready to put her in. That's it. I love this material. Love it. All right, we got our 2 parts ready. I was just doing some measuring, and we have exactly 1/1000th of press. I'll warm this up, and we'll just it should drop right in. We like that. There we go. 80005. So I just heated it up for 5 minutes with a propane torch, and I measured it. We were at 1.8027. I might shrink down a little bit here. 802, 8022. This is what I found in my time on Earth and working with metal. A bore will grow more and faster with less heat than trying to shrink something like this, a shaft or something. The shaft will shrink, but it will not shrink as much compared to the bore here. So just 5 minutes, and it's already 2/1000ths over. So over what this is. So this will probably drop right in, and it's cooled off here as I set the camera up and everything. So I will warm this back up, and we're just going to drop it in. Well, I hope this drops right in. Perfect. Plenty loose. It's amazing what you can do with just a propane torch. You can touch it, it's still a little warm. And but came out perfect. Can't ask for better than that. And I had just enough there for extra to slip on there, and we're going to finish machining this anyway, so we'll take it right on down to the hub and finish bore, keyway cuts. Oh, lot to do still, lots to do. Please subscribe, please share. I could use all the support I can get these days. Anyway, you know, there's still scribes available, brass scribes and some stainless, both round, no more hex ones. But that's what I have. Anyway, if you want one, please email me. Please subscribe and please share and support my videos. I do appreciate it. All the support has bought me a new mic for the video, for the camera here, one of the Rode mics, and you've been hearing that in the last few videos. I think the sound is way better, and we're working on getting some lighting and stuff coming here soon. So thank you.